I'm Marnie, and I've been obsessed with documentaries.
And I'm Chrissy. I haven't, but I'm giving it a go.
We watch so you don't have to. Or maybe you do, and just want a completely fact-free synopsis.
Expect spoilers and tangents.
Because we're not here to educate.
We trade accuracy for entertainment every time.
This is the Gist Project.
Good morning.
Good morning, Moon. We're here to talk about old people.
Oh, really old people. Yeah.
Really old. So I saw this one on Netflix and immediately thought, Moon's going to love this one.
And just the title had me.
Okay.
And you were 100% right. I loved this. I'm going back to school.
I knew that we would be able to use your academic prowess.
Well, right out of high school, my mom said I should become a teacher or a nurse.
Okay.
So I went and got my bachelor's degree in anthropology.
Right.
And nobody really knows what that is. Well, anthro is human and ology is study of. So it's study of humans. So a lot of the people in this documentary, and we'll get there, are paleoanthropology. So they're really, really old humans.
Old human studiers.
Yeah. And this isn't, a lot of people go, oh, you're going to dig up dinosaur bones. At the end, I'm just like, like,
yeah, right.
or, yep, whatever your guess is.
Is that what people's reaction to anthropologists
A
is?
lot was that. Some were like Indiana Jones, like an archaeologist,
Okay.
which falls under the umbrella.
It's the A word.
But an archaeologist is more into the artifacts.
Okay.
Whereas like, and we'll see again, these guys are the actual human remains, is what the paleoanthropologists do. But like there's anthropologists who study like truckers and their behavior. Everything, all the things.
Moon? Neanderthal or Neanderthal?
It's definitely tall.
Okay, so this wasn't just
It wasn't their
British rendition of the word.
Nope. In fact, you're a Neanderthal if you say Neanderthal.
That's true. Okay.
No, I mean, we have said Neanderthal and there's a TH in there, so I get it.
Right.
But yes, in school, even back then, well, a couple of years ago when I was in college, but even back then it was Neanderthal.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So now we know.
Yeah.
And was this a part of your study?
Yes. And I really do recall, because I was also a TA in physical anthropology.
Obviously.
And then so you get to look at, no, we didn't have real skulls, but we got to look at skulls. And you can kind of line them up and how you could see an evolution there, right? And so this is Homo neanderthalensis, and they fall, there's like Australopithecines, duh.
But that's getting me horny.
I know.
This is right up your alley.
It really was. And then you go into like Homo. There's a new one that I never had heard of.
Really?
Yes.
Did they talk about it in the documentary?
They might have said it, but I was like, ooh, there's a lot. That just goes to show us that it's been how long since I've been out of my first bachelor's degree. And there is still discovery out there about this, which was amazing. But Homo heidelbergensis, I don't mean he as in him, but that species is thought to be the most common ancestor of Homo sapien, us, and Homo neanderthalensis, these guys.
Okay. The people, so we should probably let our audience know.
Gosh, yeah.
We just don't
right
into the meat of it. Secrets of the Neanderthals.
Yes.
Tall.
Yeah,
I'm going to get that wrong.
But
yeah,
you can say it if you want the T.
We know that I would be of the TH. I am
you
a
could
Neanderthal.
say you're from Ibiza.
Exactly. There are the pronunciations.
There are different
that are regional.
Yeah.
Okay, and we found it on Netflix.
Yep.
And this is your jam. So tell me your synopsis.
Well, first of all, I know this had you, the narrator.
You know I was sliding out of my chair.
Yep, narrated by Sir Patrick Stewart.
Yes.
This documentary highlights some archaeological finds from the species Homo neanderthalensis. So they explore the Shanidar Cave in Kurdistan, and their skeletal remains there. The Carina Bones near Zagreb, Croatia. There were the fire pits in the caves of Bruniquel in France.
Yeah.
And then the Gorham Cave Complex in Gibraltar. And they kind of touched on these little spots where there's artifact.
Mm-hmm.
And just kind of, I think the point was to be like, Neanderthals weren't really idiot people. I mean,
Right.
we obviously can't know, but from some artifacts, there's indications like, oh, they were a caring species and probably tried to stick together. And
Well, okay, I'm just going to go ahead and start with my going in position, which is I knew about Neanderthals,
Mhm.
but I never attributed them to being really stupid. In fact, as far as I'm concerned, and I'm probably going to sound like a real moron here, but I look at gorillas in a zoo, okay, who are related to the human species, right? Like
Yep.
you will know better than I.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And they care about each other. They work in a community. Now, maybe they lack cognitive thought. I don't know. You'll be able to tell me, like you'll be able to share like the differentiation. But I mean, clearly these were human being-esque beings
Yeah.
with thoughts, feelings, ability to get fire, food, shelter,
Well, and do
right?
you think part of the, um, let's say Darwin's theory of evolution, where, the strong survive, and will you like, as in Darwinism, it gets really, really convoluted sometimes,
Yes.
but just to survive in that type of world and to procreate, these are goals.
Right.
So you would think even if there wasn't a sense of caring, that there would be a sense of survival.
Right.
So they'd stay in a pack and yeah, even,
400,000 years.
yeah.
That's not
No,
insignificant.
it's really not.
That's longer than we've been around,
So
right?
that's exactly what I thought. I'm like, so America, the United States is celebrating 250 years.
Right.
And
And we think we're pretty cool.
right. And then it was, and they didn't explain this because there's not a good explanation. Well, climate, I guess, but then they kind of just disappeared 40,000 years ago.
Yeah, there were a couple unanswered questions. So while I'm going to go on the journey of eroticism here with
Yeah.
you on the topic, there were a few unanswered questions. And of course, to your point, this is because we don't necessarily have them, right?
Yeah.
Like that's why this study continues to exist. So, okay, here's another question I have for you.
Mm-hmm.
As you mentioned with these different caves and areas in which these people were unearthed, where would you go first?
Shanadar for sure.
Really?
Yeah. Or Shanadar.
Okay, so this is in Kurdistan.
Yeah. And I thought that it was really, really pretty looking.
Mm-hmm.
Green, a huge opening. Sounds like good real estate for a Neanderthal.
Yes.
Although I guess the Gibraltar was really pretty too.
Yeah.
I guess that would be. They just didn't highlight that one as much.
No, that didn't get a lot of airtime, especially considering how vast and long and like they pulled out a dolphin bone just like, oh, clearly they had some different ecology that they could work
Yeah.
with. I mean, it was that one left me wanting.
Well, and take like seriously, you should have seen Bob and I when we did our trip to Utah.
Yeah.
And we love national parks. I don't know if I've said that yet, but we got to see all 5. And Utah is amazing. But we are just watching those videos. It's like, okay, so back then when this was formed and this sediment was laid down, and then it's this, and this part of this rock is this part in the Grand Canyon. The videos I think are for children. And
Well,
Bob and I are still like, so
wait,
we're
what?
it was
Right.
that. So it was covered by water. This was covered by water?
Right. Or ash?
Yeah.
What was
Yeah.
there a dinosaur here?
Oh, so we're still trying.
That's
We're still
okay.
trying.
I do believe that like in Montana, you can go to certain areas to find fossils. Now I know we're deviating quite hard
Well,
from our Neanderthals, but like on in that vein, like even the average Joe can go and find a fossil and
yeah.
unearth it and then spend a bazillion dollars. Like turning it into something that you can pluck at eventually and have sent home.
Yeah. I thought I seriously was like, maybe I should go pursue this degree a little bit more because I'm so jealous of Emma's job.
Right.
All I can picture is putting in the AirPods and just slowly unearthing these bones, like,
Flick,
because
flick,
it's
flick,
slow and
flick.
meticulous.
Right.
Because, like she said, you don't get to redo.
No, in
You,
fact, they kind of said that this is by nature destructive,
yeah.
right?
And I mean, like, seriously, what these guys do, what a fascinating science. There was 2 people in here that did kind of fun, well, there was a lot that did fun jobs.
Well, the whole thing is fun to you.
Oh,
Let's start there, right?
yeah.
Like everybody
Okay.
has your dream job.
You're right.
You know,
Yes,
if you
yeah.
go with that lens,
Yeah.
okay, so
Okay, so Michael Hitchcock, he's at Liverpool John Moores University. He makes stone tools. So this guy will see, let's say, an artifact, and he showed us how he chipped away and made a spearhead. And I think that's really, really interesting. And also, there was, gosh, one of these women, well, the 2 women were in the field, and they were, um, what do you call that? They were chopping up that animal.
oh, when they were trying, yeah, they were
So they were
essentially
using,
demonstrating how
yes,
a Neanderthal would have used the
the
tools
tools.
to, oh yeah, what is that word? There's probably a word for it.
Yeah, but essentially what they're doing is, 1, I mean, trying to recreate, but 2, seeing the marks that are left on the bones then
Right.
after, because then they can compare. But those 2 things are just, that's somebody's job.
Can we go back? So I need to go back to this because I need
Yeah.
to ask you a question. The stone flicker. So
Yeah.
he was creating a tool.
Mm-hmm.
Would you want to do that?
Sure. More I'd want to unearth the bones, but I
Okay,
would
okay.
put that as a second. Maybe I wouldn't be very good at it.
But skill
Yeah.
not required. It's all right. You're on site. How much time would you want to spend flicking at a rock?
As much time as it takes.
Really?
I don't know. Yes,
Of course you would.
in this day and age, yes.
Okay. Yeah, I watched it and he's like, "See how quickly you can do that?" And I was like, "No, I was bored 30 seconds."
5 to 6 minutes it took him to just get that little point.
Eh, eh, Too much. As far as I was like, "This is slow."
All I know is obsidian makes the best blade.
Well, right.
That would be my guess.
And they didn't seem to have obsidian there,
No,
unfortunately.
not there. But there was the caves in France had really, no, maybe it wasn't that.
Well, okay, caves in France.
Okay, number
We
1,
know how they got there.
I would have never found that site ever, and I'm thinking, how, wh
Who found that site? I'd
who
like to know.
found, but, who of the Neanderthals found it?
Well, think about it. You've got your fire stick
Mhm.
and you're schlepping through these tiny little holes.
My
And then if you get in there,
exactly.
what if you run out of firewood? Like, I mean, even with the most recent and innovative technology, you're still at risk in a cave.
Yeah.
Full stop.
And this just looked like, from what I could tell, all they found was circle fire pits. I
Yeah.
don't mean all they found, but, like, how are they connecting it back, I wonder?
Well, okay, so here's where I'm going to pop up a little picture because I thought it was very phallic in there.
Oh.
Did you notice how all of the stalagmites were kind of rounded?
Mhm.
And when they put it all in a pile, I was like, well, I know what that looks like a pile of. So
Yeah.
I think anybody who watches this can take a peek and
Yeah.
let me know and say, Marnie, you're a dirty raccoon because that's where you went. Now, you have to keep in mind, we were watching on our bed because Addison was practicing Decca
Yeah.
downstairs and Piper was in another room. So we're watching. Jeff's asleep like this. And then I was like, wake up. Why aren't you watching this? He's like, this topic is boring and the British accents. I was like,
Oh my god.
I know.
Yeah.
I was intrigued, especially by the stalagmite dicks.
Yep.
But you're right. They created this hearth and they didn't have any like signs of it being a home or
No.
anything other than like fire remnants.
Agreed. And it was
Right?
176.5, no, 1,000. 176 500, whatever.
Yeah.
It was a big number years ago.
Yeah. Go figure. I have this one. The France one interests me quite a bit because I thought, I don't think Moon will want to go in that cave,
I would not go to that one.
which is why I asked, and I was going to have you rank them. And I am guessing that I'd probably be correct in the assumption that the French cave is probably at the very bottom
You're
of the
right.
list.
Yeah.
Okay. So it was 176,500 years.
Yeah.
And I wrote down, did they have better access to the cave? Because surely somebody wouldn't go squeezing through those warrants to get there.
This is a conversation Bobby and I had.
Okay. And is Bobby interested in this?
Yes. Because I found it. I obviously knew a history of, and he's like, so these guys just pop out of nowhere? I guess you could, no, but.
Right. They were,
but when you don't know
over
the
time.
history of, I mean, like our genus Homo is the genus of quite a few, like Homo erectus, Homo neanderthalensis,
right,
Homo habilis. There's a few. And then you get to Homo sapiens.
Well, and what's interesting is that they said that we all carry around a little bit of Neanderthal in us, which, so then do we carry around other parts of these other permutations of a human? Those other words that you said?
Yeah, maybe. I mean,
okay.
So like you can, like facial brow ridges, you know?
Yeah.
Really thick brow ridges is associated with Neanderthals.
So for Bikram and I, with our hairlines back halfway, I'd be curious where that falls with the
Homo habilis. No, I have no idea.
There's got to be a breed for us.
Yeah.
Somewhere. Okay, so with regard to this, in your studies, cannibalism.
Yeah, that one was a touchy subject.
Is it touchy though?
No, I mean, I guess when you hear when I hear cannibalism, I think of
Jeffrey Dahmer.
Yeah, it's like psychosis.
Right.
But this would be more of a survival.
Right.
And again, these are the hardest things to answer because there is nobody to say, oh yeah, we did that when we killed our enemy, we ate them, or we did that when grandma died, or
right.
It's really, really hard to say why it happened. Survival would be my guess.
Well, and also they didn't, I'm projecting here. Again, I have the psychology, right? So
yeah.
My expertise is in the mind, not necessarily in the humans. But when I think back to, 400 plus thousand years ago, they didn't have the social constructs that we do now.
No.
So perhaps they didn't have the burden of looking at another human and then thinking, oh, it's wrong for me to eat them if they're dead, especially if they're starving.
Yeah.
And living in tiny little clans, doing the best they can. Now, another thing they didn't get into. Okay, so we're not going to leave cannibalism, but what were the big animals they were around? They didn't talk about that.
Yeah. I don't know the answer to that either. I mean, the Kurdistan, that's Middle East. I don't know, camels. I really don't know that.
I mean, were woolly mammoths around at this time? That's kind of where my head goes, where the saber-toothed tigers or other sort of prehistoric.
Yeah. And I don't know. I'll be honest. I don't know the answer to that.
Okay.
Or is that because of the crudes that we think that?
I couldn't stop thinking about crudes.
Me neither.
Right? They did a good job with the CGI, with the arm length and stuff.
Oh, I thought that was unnecessary. But I guess
I did too.
If you're coming from a this isn't, maybe they obviously did that to carry interest, but I didn't need to see
the reenactments.
Yeah,
no, I agree. I think it oversimplified it. I do think they tried to render them in the most neutral.
Agreed.
And I think they did try to capture some beauty of the
Yeah.
moment, even though the populace would think of Neanderthals as ugly.
Yeah.
So I do think that there was an attempt, like, within
Oh,
their
I agree
the
1,000%.
scope of what they had in front of them, and,
I
you know
yeah. I do know one animal they had was a jerd.
Yes! Which I wonder is that Kurdistan or Kurdish for gerbil?
I don't know
Because it
because it
looked
was
like a
a
gerbil.
hamster with a tail is how it
Right?
was described. I think jerd is fun to say.
It is fun to
Yeah.
say. Did you have a jerd growing up?
Never.
You
No.
didn't have a jerd?
No, I didn't have a jerd. My mom would never let me.
Oh, I had a jerd.
Oh, you're lucky. Of course
Yeah.
you did.
I know. We had 2. Well, Bree had 1, I had 1, and they were brown and black, and so their names were Brownie and Blackie.
That is a very yep.
Isn't that creative?
Yes.
And we thought Brownie and Blackie would wanna enjoy the sun,
Mm.
so we brought their tank out, and, we put them in the sun because they are little rodents that live in the desert. Now, those rodents also burrow down into sand to escape the heat.
Yeah.
Luckily, Brownie and Blackie survived, or at least Blackie did. Maybe Brownie may have perished, but Blackie went on to live like a long life.
Wow.
He died of a broken leg, the poor thing.
Oh, wow.
I know.
Oh.
So there were jurds. You're right. That was like
Yep.
the one animal. I
Yep.
think that was, if I had a criticism, I would have liked to have known what was the flora and fauna
Agreed.
that these
Yep.
people lived amongst.
Yeah.
You know, were there palm trees in Russia at that time? I don't know,
I don't either.
because there was the Panagea.
Yeah. No.
Okay,
Okay.
I was right.
No, not with panacea.
Okay,
Panagea is a little bit closer, I think.
okay.
Pan- There was one continent.
There's
a theory out there.
Which would explain why they went
That
from
it all
one
split.
right.
Yeah.
And 400,000 years ago, I mean, again, coming back to the no research before this, but I mean, look, if the intent of the documentary was to dispel the myth that these people were idiots, I think they did it.
Yeah. Oh, one more thing that they did that was interesting. Well, they did a lot of interesting things to me, but they did show that those skeletons with damage,
Mm-hmm.
they can see that they lived beyond that damage, which means somebody likely took care of them.
Right.
If their bodies were able to heal before they died and
Yeah.
were remain. And
So there was an empathy.
there was, yes, a
And a
level
care.
of caring or taking care of somebody. And who knows why that maybe their culture was more like, we have to keep him alive
Right.
because of whatever. But maybe it was like, oh, that's grandma and I love her and let's
Right. Yeah.
keep her alive. Who knows?
Which brings us into the burial and
Yeah.
the burial rites. Now they were divided on this.
Yep.
As to whether or not it was grandma died, let's eat her, versus grandma died, let's put a bunch of flowers around her.
Yeah. And they could have done both.
And the jurds,
Jurds.
the jurds could have brought the pollen in, or
Yep.
they could have laid a bunch of flowers, or it could have just been sediment. A
Yeah.
lot of questions still. I mean, Moon, another big takeaway from this is there's still space for you to be in this field. A lot of
Totally.
unanswered questions.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
Watch out, world.
So your chosen job out of all of these folks would be to zhuzh at the bones.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'd go study under Emma, Dr. Emma.
Yeah, she was fascinating.
Anthropologist. Yeah.
All right. Well, I happen to really I'm gonna have you guess my favorite.
I already know.
Do you?
The twins.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes, I loved them. They were silly.
Okay. But really took their job seriously.
Yes, they did.
And I was fascinated by how they didn't just slap on clay. They like made clay muscles. Like our bodies actually
Yes.
have them so that our muscles are attached, and they followed that.
So, couple things. So we're talking about the Kennis brothers.
Oh, yes. Sorry.
They are in the Netherlands. So they're Dutch as fuck,
Yeah.
which was amazing. So check on my list there. Number 2, they clearly did not do their hair for their interviews.
No.
They showed up wild and ready.
And they are really similar look. I mean, they're twins.
Yes.
Yeah. It's hard to tell them apart.
They were rough and ready and unapologetic. So
Yeah.
it was delightful. And they were so into their job. Like, they
Yeah.
were very, very passionate. So to your point, like, creating the muscles, it wasn't just, like, this is where the mandible is. There was care and curation, and you saw him, like, shaving at
Yeah,
it.
I believe they probably used, like, the appropriate size and thickness of what the muscle would likely be.
Right,
Yeah, it was fascinating. So they're reconstructing these they get a skull, and then based on that, they create an entire skull because they might just get a little bit of it, I think.
right.
And then, they do the facial reconstruction. It's
That would have been my job. If I'm
Oh,
joining
yeah.
this field, I would go over there, number 1, because they basically said, "Yeah, we didn't wanna do any of that stuff. We just wanted to look at these pictures." And then
Yeah.
we so they took what they thought was fascinating, and there's, like, an art and a science to it. So,
Yes,
well,
yes, that was a
and there were faces lining the walls. Did you ever
Yes.
see Return to Oz?
Nope.
Oh god, Moon, you've gotta add that to your list.
Okay.
I'm gonna have a little spoiler alert where there's this dream portion, within the land of Oz,
Okay.
and this woman replaces her face. She puts on a different head when she wants to have a different look. So she has this wall of all of these faces and heads, and I remember being terrified as a
Yeah.
kid, but being in the Kenneth Brothers lab, it felt like Return to Oz, but in a perhaps more clinical
Yeah.
fashion. So if you ever feel the girls might like it.
Well,
It's a throwback.
we'll put it on.
Put it on the
Yeah.
list. Put
Yeah.
it on the list. Okay, so one of my last on the Kenneth Brothers, they said "Mamma Mia." Did you hear that? Where they were, like, so excited about what they were doing,
Oh,
"Mamma Mia," and it's like, you're Dutch.
Yep.
Like, I don't think that's in your lexicon,
Oh,
but I'm glad you threw that in there. Um, did you go into this thinking that Neanderthals were dumb?
no way.
Me neither.
No.
So I wonder who in our population needed this message at such a high level to say, like, stop discrediting the
I think
Neanderthals.
I think, our species, Homo sapiens, just have to be the pinnacle
True.
in whether we are or not remains to be seen. But I think that we can't be the pinnacle if I don't know.
We're
I think
40,000 years in.
yeah, I think it's, one of those things.
We didn't really get into if they fought each other, although, I mean, they mentioned that there could have been rivalry. We didn't really get into, I don't know, like, how they arranged themselves, if there was,
No.
like, a political
But again,
alignment.
I don't know that that's even possible to get into when
Yeah.
all you have is re like, some of a skeleton.
I think it's interesting in the sense that, okay, so this could keep on going, but I do wonder, at what point do you run out of the ability to make assumptions, and then you're just sitting assumption, 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 and it's no longer a science?
Yeah, and that's where I think that's why we don't have all those answers,
Mm,
is just simply because that'd be speculative, wouldn't it?
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And as the guys in The Rest is History would say, like, you can only go so far, and you have to be, as a historian, as a paleo
Anthropologist.
anthropologist, you have to remain objective. But
Yeah.
at some point, you also need to kind of take a stand.
Oh,
So
yeah.
it's a tough position to be in.
Yeah.
Like, okay, so they scraped the bones of the meat, and it seems like they withdrew the marrow. But
Mhm.
could that have been an animal? I don't know.
Well, maybe not an animal for the marrow part, because I think maybe it could be. Yeah, you're right.
Right? I mean,
An
dogs,
animal could smash it
they
because
could.
those longer bones were smashed.
Right. Uh, they also foraged.
Oh, yeah.
That was crazy to me, that would be
And
something even, like, that they would question, like, why
I
wouldn't you eat a
I
fruit?
agree.
Right?
Well, boy, they really took that Neanderthal idea of meat of caveman,
Yeah.
and it's like, no, I really didn't think that they ate only meat
Same. And
and that they were going around grunting.
I would agree. I would have assumed there'd be some sort of communication
Yep.
methodology, that there would be sharing of roles and responsibilities, that there would be the ability to clothe themselves, to feed themselves,
Right.
to make shelter, like the
To survive for that long, you have to have those
yeah.
things. Yeah.
Well, and I did think that the analysis of the enamel, that was really
That was
cool.
really cool. I was just like, "They have teeth still,"
Right.
which is amazing, I think, as a find, like, "Oh, there's teeth because they can really give you a lot of information.
For sure. And also, I was surprised by so they focused quite a bit on um I think it was Shanidar Z, right?
Mhm.
She ended up being a she,
Yep.
and she was in her 40s, almost 50. Is that
That one
correct?
might be right, or she might have been in their 20s.
Okay.
One of
Well,
them was in their one of them was in their 40s.
okay, well, let's put it this way, Moon.
Yeah.
The Kenneth brothers rendition, if that woman was in her 20s, holy shit, did
Yeah.
they age.
No, you're right. She was had been
I was
40.
gonna say,
You're right.
like, um, so they have this big ta-da where the team in Cambridge received the Kenneth brothers rendition
Yep.
of the recreated skull. And you there was like adoration
Oh, yeah.
in the eyes of these people. It was like they saw this person come to life.
Yep.
And Emma seemed quite smitten. Did
Well,
you see her look at Shannon
yes.
Darzi like, "Oh, it's been
I
so long."
I can't think about that.
Right,
You spend 4 hours just getting this tiny thing uncovered,
right,
and then all of a sudden that so how much hours is she doing this? How many hours? And then, yeah, to have it come to life, so to speak, would be amazing.
right. Well, and there was also the gal who spent, like, countless hours putting teeny tiny skull pieces
Yes.
together
That
in
was
a
another
teeny
job.
tiny
I was like,
puzzle.
"Ooh, yeah."
Well, yeah, I mean, Moon, with your fascination with puzzles,
Mhm.
this career path has your name written all over
That's
it.
where I started, like,
Yeah.
which is crazy to me.
Well, and it's interesting to think back. So your mom said teacher or nurse. You
Yep,
you are a nurse practitioner, and you could teach.
yep,
And this is still like your clinical acumen would actually apply quite well, and it would be helpful to this field.
yeah.
Hmm.
Mm.
Perhaps we want to pursue a master's degree for you in Cambridge to
Yes,
join the team.
and, let's see what I can unearth here in central Minnesota.
Yeah. Yeah, I have a feeling you're not going to be studying truckers.
No, and see, that's why that's kind of where the anthropology career halted. Found a man, married him, had some
Yeah.
kids.
Uh,
Here we are.
you're right. Well, the other thing I'm going out on a limb here. I don't think there's a ton of money in anthropology.
No.
And I could tell, I mean, they said, "Oh, we have a small but mighty team." And this is Cambridge.
Yeah.
Okay? So like if they're Cambridge, Oxford, name any of the big global Ivies,
Yeah.
they're gonna have the money because they want the smarty pants looking at old things.
Yeah.
And for the BBC for this documentary to say that they have a small but mighty team, that tells me that there ain't a lot of money there either.
Nope.
So even when you're at the top, you're still probably, you know,
Scraping.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Well,
they're probably
living
not
frugally.
they are
Yeah.
not on the yacht in Monaco,
No, they're not. No, they're
right?
not.
Shoot. Okay, so Emma was your favorite,
Yeah.
and, you would rather go to Kurdistan. That's
I
your
mean, put it on the list.
okay,
Yeah. Yeah.
okay. We won't touch Kurdistan as a country. We'll come back to that sometime when we
Yeah, I
do more
probably
of a
won't go
geographic.
now. You're right. I'd probably go to Gibraltar, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Me too. That sounds so delightful. Anything you'd put on a shirt?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's everybody knows this, but they said people who specialized in gathering knowledge were probably women.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, mine is, you may think you are doing well on this planet, but just beware.
Yeah, and full
And
stop.
full stop. That's it. Take it for what you will. I think that was the guy in Gibraltar who said that,
Yes.
basically as a warning. And I think it was related to climate because it was the documentary was coming to a natural end. Where it
Yep.
was like, we don't really know what happened to these people. And Elfine,
Yep.
right?
Yeah.
Well, Moon, did it tickle you in funny places?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
This one got me. Good.
I'm going to keep looking for these kind to interject into our normal scam culture.
Yeah, but we're gonna have to bring back a villain soon to
Oh, yeah.
satisfy
Mike
number one
Wenzel.
fan Mike.
Mike, sorry that there wasn't anybody we disliked strongly or
Not
that
this
had a
one.
path.
Yeah.
He was a little surprised by our lack of lore, of
Yeah.
rap lore
Oh,
information. And I was like,
yeah.
really?
No,
You're
we're
surprised by that?
Yeah.
So, Mike, no villains here, but count on us to bring that back.
Yep.
Well, Moon, anything else to add?
No.
Okay, I guess that's the gist of Secrets of the Neanderthals.
That's that.
That's that. See you later.
Bye.
Bye. Well, there you have it. You may have picked up on a fact or two.
Or just convinced yourself you did.
Either way, that's the Gist Project. Never educational, but always entertaining.